They said not to make a video right when you wake up. Well, screw them. Today I want to talk about Reckless Greed and how it's good only. I was playing Reckless Greed in my Heroic, and I liked it at first, I'm like, oh, sweet, like, Patrick Hoban's right. I get +1 on that turn, and it's so good. I'm drawing into my pieces. And then, I started to go against people not on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or Dueling Network. And I noticed a trend where, yes, that was true, but only half the time. The thing about Reckless Greed is that you could put in another card that's not Reckless Greed, that's a solution to a problem, rather than play Reckless Greed and just draw into more of the same kind of cards in the deck. For example, when I'm playing Heroic, I kind of felt like I was better off playing Breakthrough Skill rather than Reckless Greed, because Breakthrough Skill can hinder my opponent and also at the same time gets rid of the counterplay of Fossil Dyna. And, it's like Reckless Greed helped me in half my games, but in the other half, it's exactly what the name says. It's reckless. I'm drawing into 2, but I'm going to miss my next 2 draw phases. When you play 2 Reckless Greeds at the same time, it's like you jumped ahead 4 whole turns, because you got like 4 draw phases right there. And you're only going to be, I think it's even? I don't know. Anyways, it's not that big of a minus for the amount of advantage you get over your opponent. And I still lost because of how linear the deck was. See, I made my deck so linear, I actually didn't get any variety for dealing with different situations. And some people will be like, well, you should have just sorted out the Reckless Greed. Okay, 1, I did. 2, I only have so much room in my side deck to deal with certain things. Like Merveils, I don't know how you're going to deal with Banisher of Radiance other than just attacking over it. And I personally hate when I have to attack over a counterplay to deal with it, because so many things can happen to me trying to do that. And if they stop me, I'm like, oh, well, I just lose then, don't I? And that was the exact case here. I do like Upstart Goblet. I want to get into that right now. I like Upstart because, yes, it really is like playing a 37 card deck. Yes, it does let me draw into my extra pieces for free. That makes sense. Reckless Greed doesn't make sense in every deck. I don't think it makes sense in Burbell. I don't think it makes sense in Heroic. I only think it makes sense in decks like Prophecy or Dark World that have a field spell that lets you draw. So Reckless, its minus is kind of mitigated because of your other. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that you're making your siding. There are some games that decided to keep Reckless in so I could draw side deck cards. That didn't end up happening. I kind of got screwed. I had 2 Reckless, and I did not get into Skill Drain to deal with Fossil Dyna. And so, I don't know, I'm just salty. I'm not necessarily saying don't do Hobaning, but I'm just saying take a look at the actual situation Hobaning puts you in. You're not going to have different keys to deal with different locks. You have one key to get your own lock off. It kind of doesn't make sense in a way. Would you rather top deck a Reckless Greed if you're dealing with a field full of monsters or a Dark Hole? I mean, TCG Lover did a video where he said Dark Hole was irrelevant, but I kind of disagree because there's a lot of times where your opponent might have a flooded field, especially in the end game, that is vulnerable to Dark Hole, and you just top it. And then, sorry, I was playing against a Fire King player, and he top decked Mirror Force, and he set the Mirror Force, and he just completely blew my field away. And I was just salty. I'm just like, there's just nothing I could do. If that was Reckless Greed, yes, he could have drew into some of his other pieces quicker, but he had now a card in his deck to deal with the situation that Reckless Greed could not let you deal with. Reckless Greed is only letting you deal with whatever your deck can deal with. So I feel like I've repeated myself enough. I'll see you guys later.